When you sit down and write your goals, do you actually know what you're doing, or are you just throwing crazy things out there and hoping something sticks at the end of the year? My guess is you're probably just throwing stuff out there and you're not really hitting your goals, and I'm going to tell you why. When it comes to goal setting, a lot of people don't do it right. They think they are. They sit down, they write down some stuff, and then they think like, okay, those are the targets for this year. But there's a lot more that goes into actually goal setting properly to really hit the targets you want to hit. Okay, and then what I'm going to talk to you about is how to do it properly, because most people actually goal set backwards. All right? And the first thing is, you actually got to sit down and commit to writing your goals out. Okay? And I'm not just saying throw some things on a piece of paper quickly. I'm talking about time blocking a few hours to really sit and think about what it is you want to achieve. When people goal set, typically they're trying to get through it really quickly and they're trying to make it really easy on themselves. Like sometimes when I'm speaking to agents, they say that they just want to double their production from the year before. It sounds great, but is that really a goal that you want to set, or is that just something that you said to somebody because it sounds good coming out? Really think about the goals you want to set, and not just in business, but in life as well, okay? So really commit to thinking through what your goals are going to be. And then the biggest mistake I see realtors make is that they don't start with the long-term goals first. Look, short-term goals are great, and I'm going to get to those in a second, but you really need to know what the big targets are that you are shooting for, okay? What do you want in 10 years? What do you want in 20 years? What do you want in 30 or 40 years? Like, when you sit down to write out your goals, you need to really think about what you want your life to be 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now in the future. Okay? What are the things you want to get? Okay? Write all those out and then put dates by them. Put the year that you want to achieve them. And be very specific as well. Don't just say, I want to buy a house in the suburbs, right? Or I want a beach house. No. Really get specific. I want to buy a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo overlooking the ocean on the big island of Hawaii that has front sand that I can go put my feet in, and I'm a 5-minute walk to the beach. Something specific by a specific date is what you need to do for your future goals, right? Think about it. What do you really want? For instance, I want to take my family to Rome to see the Colosseum on a private jet. There's a lot more details in it, but that's my 5-year plan. By 2027, that's what I want to do. That's what I think about, and that's what I've written down in my long-term goals. So start with the long-term ones first. Be specific and really think about what you want your future to look like. Also, when you are setting your goals, set your business and personal goals. They're going to tie together. For instance, if you really want to take your family on that vacation, you got to know that you're going to have to work your ass off and make a bunch of money to take them on it. Okay? You're going to have to know that to make that money, you're going to have business goals that have to be achieved to make that income to take that trip. They tie together. So make sure you're setting business and personal goals, because they will overlap so much more than you could ever imagine. Okay? The next thing is short-term goals. To get to the long-term goals, you have to have short-term goals. Think of them as a way to stay on the path to get you to your long-term goals. But the reason why we say set the long-term goals first is because you got to know what that path is to go on to get those long-term goals. And those short-term goals are the ones that are going to lay that path out for you. So you start with the long-term goals, and then you start working backwards. What are the short-term goals you have to hit in order to reach that long-term goal? For instance, the trip I was talking about earlier, I sat down and I wrote out how much money that's going to cost to go on that trip. And I started thinking backwards, like, okay, well, I need to put aside this amount of money every single year to pay for that trip. And I have to work X number of dollars or close this many houses to put that money away to still have a life at the same time and pay my bills to take that trip. You got to start working backwards, right? And as you do that, you'll start to see, once you really start breaking it down, all the goals you need to achieve up until the current time. Maybe it's as simple as going, okay, I need to make one extra phone call every single week. I need to send out one more email. I need to close one more deal every month. Whatever it is, write out your short-term goals that are going to put you on that path to get you to those long-term goals. And again, be very specific. Put dates behind them as well so they are real. Okay? And the final thing is, like, really have fun with it. I'm a big believer in setting just crazy goals. You know, when we started Next Bluprint, it's something that I had envisioned, and here we are. But it took a lot of small goals to get us to where we are today. That's something that I was dreaming about. That was a big goal of mine and of my partner Alex's. And now here we are. It's because we sat down and really thought about where do we want this company to go and how are we going to get there. So don't feel like you have to really be so constricted with your goals. Have fun with them. You know, enjoy them. What I like to do is I like to see what it's going to take to reach a goal, and I just push a little bit past it and set that as my goal. Because I know if I'm realistically here, then pushing a little bit farther isn't out of the realm of possibility, but it's going to push me harder to get to this one. And if you are shooting for the stars and you land on the moon, not a bad thing either. So make sure you're intentional with your goal setting. This is something we actually talk about in the first meeting of the mentorship program. We go into depth, crazy depth on how to goal set properly. This is just a snapshot of that. So guys, set your goals long-term first, short-term, have fun with them, be specific, and watch. Guarantee you'll achieve what you want to achieve.